Today's video is part one of two on ABLE accounts. In part one, we're going to look at qualification for ABLE accounts and really what is an ABLE account. And in part two, in 2 weeks, we're going to look at contribution limitations and withdrawal limitations for ABLE accounts. My name's Gregory Singleton. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I work for Signature Law, which is an estate planning and probate law firm that serves the Twin Cities and Greater Minnesota alike. Just as a reminder, if you like today's video, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. Also, a couple caveats before we get going. First of all, this video is for educational purposes only. I am not giving legal advice. Second, we're going to be talking very specifically about Minnesota law. If you're in another state, a lot of the concepts and theories may be the same, but you'll want to talk to a legal practitioner in that state to find out what the ins and outs are for your jurisdiction. And third of all, we just moved. I'm in a new home office here. We are playing with the lights and sounds, as you can see behind me. I haven't quite set up my shelves yet. I've just thrown a few knickknacks on there. So we may have some difficulties with sound and light, but we'll do the best we can. Okay. Disability asset protection is what we've been talking about. Basically, if you're on medical assistance or SSI and you receive government benefits, you have to qualify for those programs. In order to qualify for those programs, you generally have to impoverish yourself on income as well as the amount of assets that you have. Disability asset protection is the practice of making some of those assets that you have unavailable for when you're determining whether you qualify for a government benefit program. Now, in previous videos, we've already talked about special needs trust and supplemental needs trust. In today's video, in the next video, we're going to be talking about an alternative to those, or really just an additional option that is available to a person with a qualifying disability, and that is the ABLE account, ABLE. It stands for Achieving a Better Life Experience. This is a federal law passed in December 19th, 2014, effective 2015, that is enumerated in the IRS code at section 529A, paren E, paren 6. Basically, it's a federal program like Medicaid that is implemented by the states, and Minnesota has implemented it under Minnesota Statute 256Q.01 through .08, a very short section of laws. It really relies on the IRS code for enforcement. Now, the purpose, as stated under Minnesota law, is to have a savings plan that, to quote, encourage and assist individuals and families in saving private funds for the purpose of supporting individuals with disabilities, to maintain health, independence, quality of life, and to provide secure funding for disability-related expenses that will supplement but not supplant benefit programs through private insurance, end quote, or government benefits. And I go on to list some government benefit programs. That said, what is it essentially? Basically, it's a bank account for a person with a qualifying disability where the assets and growth of assets within that account are deemed unavailable when determining eligibility for various benefit programs. So, qualification for an ABLE account. There's basically two requirements you have to meet. The first is you have to have a qualifying disability that is present before the age of 26. So if you're in a car accident at age 27 and you have to go on a government benefit program, you're out of luck. It didn't exist before you're 26. In addition to that, you have to have one of the following. First is you have to have a disability that is, or you have to be eligible due to a disability that qualifies under SSI or SSDI standards. 2, you can be blind as determined by the Social Security Act. And 3, you can have a diagnosis of a similarly severe disability with written diagnosis from your doctor. Now, annual recertification is required. Interestingly, the question of who can open an ABLE account, originally it was just the account owner that could open the ABLE account, but recent legislation allows for not only the owner to open an ABLE account, but also an authorized individual. Now, the list of authorized individuals is enumerated in statute. It can include an attorney in fact, meaning someone you've given authority to through a durable power of attorney. It can be a guardian or conservator, which is somebody appointed by the court to handle, in the case of a guardian, your body and your health affairs, or a conservator, which handles your financial affairs and assets. Notably, if a guardian is the one that opens the ABLE account, they cannot actually manage the ABLE account. I'm not entirely certain why that is, but that's what it says. You can also, in addition, have family members, including spouse, parent, sibling, or grandparent. And you can also have an appointed representative payee, which is a person appointed by the Social Security Administration. Now, notably, they're very specific that an authorized individual, the list does not include domestic partners. So if that is the relationship that you are in, your partner cannot form an ABLE account for you. Okay, very short video today. This is part 1 of 2 on ABLE accounts. Basically, the ABLE account is a bank account where the assets are deemed unavailable. Next time in part 2, we're going to look at the limitations of the ABLE account for contribution and asset limitations, as well as withdrawal limitations. Basically, what can you use the assets for? I hope you liked today's video. If you did like today's video, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help support the channel. If you do like what we're doing here, we do a new video every other Wednesday. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below or just send me an email. It's going to pop up on the screen in a second. Otherwise, until next time, this is Gregory Singleton with Signature Law.